Western Bright Middle School PLC Action Plan. The importance of the action plan. The PLC suggested that for October 2016 that we implement remediation before school, during school, at RAM time and after school, and students will have transportation on the late bus after school. We want our students to have access to instructional practices that will allow them to compete in a global society. We also want our students to maximize all resources that are available to them. And that's why we are recommending that we provide the remediation for students, and students will have transportation after school. We also suggest the continued use of formative assessments to collect data to see where students are and to assist teachers in planning and assessing their students in the future. We have a November 2016 implementation for comparing the data from future grade level cohorts to past cohorts. And with this, what we hope to see if there are trends from fifth graders who are coming up to the sixth graders who will be seventh graders next year, and from the seventh graders who will be eighth graders, and those eighth graders who will be ninth graders. If there are trends, and if there are trends where there are indicators that students have not been successful over a 3-year period, then we may need to look at continuing to have instruction evolve so that we can totally meet the needs of all of our students. We also want to express to continue the formative assessments as well. We have a November 2016 implementation for the RAM Academy on Saturdays, and what RAM Academy on Saturdays will be able to provide is an opportunity for students to come to school for 4 hours and get assistance in math and reading, 2 hours each. We have a March 2017 for implementation of district benchmarks for our students to see what they have learned. In April 2017, we have an implementation date for mock end of grade testing so students can start taking mock tests and get prepared for end of grade testing. May 2017, a review for EOG tests where teachers will do a 30-day blitz until the day before testing begins. We have a June 2017 implementation date for end of grade tests, students to take them that can be completed on the computer. The alignment with student outcomes from August to June 2017. Teachers will use best practices to help aid instructions for our students in math and reading. We would want to raise student achievement on end of grade tests by having students reach proficiency and above by 40%, which is one of our school improvement goals. Again, from August to June 2017, we want our teachers to use math and reading strategies in class to give additional support to students who may be struggling, as well as from August to June 2017, formative assessments should be given to students and data reviewed. April to May 2017, the final benchmarks, and that data can be shared as well to assist teachers in preparing for the end of grade test. And administrators will, from August to May 2017, do walkthroughs through teachers' classrooms to provide feedback for teachers. Specific activities in line with designated goals and objectives. The PLC suggested from August to June 2017 that we continue to use American Reading Company data from the independent reading levels for students every 4.5 weeks to see where students are reading, and if they are below reading level, what we can do to get them on and above reading level. If they're above, what enrichment activities they need to make sure that they remain on and above grade level. The PLC also suggests that we use Dreambox learning system for math so that our students can get the technology pieces as well as they will get in reading so that they can advance. And again, this is another piece to aid teachers in delivering instruction, to differentiate instruction for all students. With these programs, we suggest that teachers on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis provide reading and vocabulary activities to build vocabulary and comprehensions using a number of programs, but in particular vocabulary and other methods of instructions that include the continued use of technology, personalized learning. We also suggest this daily, weekly, and monthly for math activities so that our students can build fluency and critical thinking skills using a variety of instructional methods, including technology and personalized learning. Our short-term and mid-term and long-term goals, the PLC suggests to the administration that in August 2016, we start analyzing data from the first interim assessment. In January 2017, we checked the status of the RAM Academy. In June 2017, we want to reduce the number of out-of-school suspensions and in-school suspensions to 900, down from 1250 from the previous year. The indicators of success with the measurements, the data that we will use for evaluations are the benchmark data, common assessments, test results, the end of grade tests, lesson plans, walkthroughs, students' grades, and teacher-made assessments. The clarification of roles and responsibilities for the American Reading Company book selection, the vocabulary monthly common assessments, the responsible parties will be all English teachers, and the sixth grade administrator will oversee the implementation of that. The Dreambox math program, the monthly common assessments, responsible parties will be all math teachers, and their grade level administrators will see the implementation of that program. The walkthroughs, the review of weekly lesson plans, all administrators will conduct 20 walkthroughs a week and provide meaningful feedback to teachers, as well as they will review the weekly lesson plans and provide feedback that is not harmful, building relationships with students. The responsible parties will be our teachers and administrators. They will make sure that they are building and maintaining relationships with students. For our RAM time, service learning, and character education initiatives, the administrative intern will oversee the implementation of service learning and character education and will listen and make sure that all stakeholders have what they need to be successful. Teachers will have lesson plans. They will be privy to the character education activities because they will be a part of those discussions as well as the students. And in conclusion, the PLC team thought this action plan was necessary to ensure that the students at our school are successful and to build culture and climate in our school. The vision of the PLC was one that will provide very viable solutions to the issues that plague our school The candidate delegated responsibilities to the members of the team throughout the process while being the leader to ensure that everyone had a voice and that everyone was heard. The school administration agreed that this was also necessary to start preparing students to be successful on the end of grade test. We believe that if our school worked together and used best practices, then student achievement will be raised and we will not be low performing for the third straight year. Our principal knows that we are running out of time and that something has to be done to get us out of low performance status. This concludes our electronic presentation to administration.